You're tuned in to 22 Crime, where the truth hides in the details. Together we dive into the darkest corners of human nature, exploring the mysteries that have left investigators puzzled and families searching for justice. Because in the world of crime, the truth is never as simple as it seems. With just 22 minutes on the clock, let's dive into today's case and uncover the shocking truth. In March 2011, the affluent Bethesda Row shopping district in Maryland became the scene of a shocking crime that would captivate the nation. Jayna Murray, a vibrant and accomplished 30-year-old, was brutally murdered inside the Lululemon Athletica store where she worked. Her coworker, 28-year-old Brittany Norwood, was found tied up, bloodied, and claiming to have survived a violent attack by two masked men. Initial reports painted a chilling picture of a robbery gone wrong, leaving one woman dead and another severely injured. As investigators unraveled the case, however, the narrative began to shift dramatically. The truth behind the events of that night exposed a story not of external assailants, but of betrayal, manipulation, and a horrifying escalation of workplace conflict. The brutality of the crime and its setting in an upscale yoga apparel store made the case particularly jarring to the public. Lululemon Athletica, known for promoting wellness, mindfulness, and an active lifestyle, was suddenly linked to a savage act of violence. The juxtaposition of a serene, luxurious brand with a crime of such ferocity drew widespread media attention. The case also sparked broader discussions about hidden tensions in seemingly safe spaces, workplace dynamics, and the lengths people will go to protect their secrets. The community of Bethesda was left shaken, struggling to reconcile their perception of their tranquil neighborhood with the gruesome reality that had unfolded. The clock is ticking. Let's uncover the truth behind today's mystery. Viewer discretion is advised. 22 is a true crime podcast that delves into real-life crime stories, which often involve graphic descriptions, sensitive content, and strong language that may not be suitable for all audiences. We strive to present these cases with the utmost respect for the victims and their families. Please note that the content discussed may be distressing or triggering for some listeners. Additionally, all resources and information presented in this podcast are obtained from publicly available internet sources. Listener discretion is strongly advised, and we recommend that only mature audiences proceed with caution. If you are sensitive to such content, please consider watching another video. Stay safe and take care of your mental health. Jayna Murray, a vibrant and adventurous 30-year-old, was the kind of person who lit up every room she entered. Born in Kansas and raised in Texas, Jayna was a dynamic blend of brilliance and boldness. Her childhood was filled with academic and athletic accomplishments, and as she grew, her love for extreme sports like skydiving and bungee jumping only added to her fearless personality. Jayna wasn't just an adrenaline junkie, she was the heart of her community. Her infectious positivity and radiant energy endeared her to friends, coworkers, and family alike. While pursuing dual degrees in business and communications, Jayna worked part-time at the Bethesda Lululemon store. What started as a research opportunity for her studies blossomed into admiration for the company's ethos and culture. Jayna's dedication and professionalism earned her respect among her colleagues, and she dreamed of transitioning into a corporate role at Lululemon. Her personal life was just as promising. She was deeply in love with her long-term boyfriend, Fraser, and the two were planning an imminent engagement. Jayna's future seemed limitless, full of love, ambition, and opportunity. Brittany Norwood, on the other hand, presented a strikingly different story. At 28 years old, Brittany came from a large, close-knit family in Seattle, Washington, where she was one of 9 siblings. Known for her athletic prowess, particularly in soccer, Brittany was fiercely competitive. However, beneath her ambitious exterior lay a troubled history. A pattern of kleptomania and dishonesty shadowed her achievements, leading to her expulsion from college and later dismissal from another Lululemon location. Despite her past, Brittany worked hard to present herself as driven and goal-oriented. She joined the Bethesda Lululemon store just 6 weeks before the fateful incident. Even in this short time, her coworkers began to question her honesty, sensing something amiss in her behavior. Yet, Brittany maintained ambitious dreams of becoming a personal trainer and had an upcoming interview at a prestigious local gym. While outwardly determined and eager to succeed, Brittany's history of manipulative behavior and deceit hinted at deeper struggles, ones that would later play a pivotal role in the horrifying events to come. This tale of two colleagues, one admired and full of promise, the other veiled in shadows of her past, would soon unravel into a chilling tragedy. On the night of March 11, 2011, Brittany Norwood and Jayna Murray worked the closing shift at the upscale Lululemon store in Bethesda, Maryland. By 9:45 p.m., they had completed their routine tasks, locked up the store and parted ways. Everything seemed normal as the two women headed home. But the night was far from over. Shortly after leaving, Brittany realized she had forgotten her Metro card, which she needed to use public transit. Stranded without it, she began calling around to coworkers, seeking Jayna's contact information. Eventually she reached Jayna and explained her predicament. Always accommodating and kind, Jayna agreed to return to the store and let Brittany retrieve her card. Jayna parked illegally outside the store, expecting a quick errand. She unlocked the door, and the two women re-entered the store together. Jayna used the opportunity to retrieve her forgotten laptop, while Brittany searched for her Metro card. The moment seemed routine, but Brittany had a far more sinister plan in mind. Earlier that day, Jayna had reported Brittany to store management for allegedly stealing a pair of yoga pants. Brittany, likely aware of this, saw the late-night meeting as an opportunity to confront Jayna. What began as a confrontation escalated into a horrifying act of violence. In a sudden and brutal outburst, Brittany launched a frenzied attack on Jayna, using items from the store as weapons. Over the course of at least 17 agonizing minutes, Brittany inflicted more than 331 injuries on Jayna. The injuries included stab wounds, blunt force trauma, and a final blow that severed Jayna's spinal cord. Jayna fought back valiantly, as evidenced by the defensive wounds covering her hands and arms, but the ferocity of the attack overwhelmed her. The scene was unimaginably gruesome. Blood spattered up to 6 feet high on the walls and pooled beneath Jayna's lifeless body. In the aftermath of the murder, Brittany set out to cover her tracks and craft a narrative of innocence. She drove Jayna's car to a parking lot several blocks away, hoping to obscure the timeline and confuse investigators. Returning to the store, she meticulously staged the scene to suggest a robbery gone wrong. She ransacked the store, scattering receipts and leaving cash registers open. To create the illusion of male assailants, she used a pair of size 14 men's sneakers, store property, to leave bloody footprints throughout the crime scene. Brittany didn't stop there. She inflicted superficial injuries on her own body, tied her hands and ankles with zip ties, and smeared Jayna's blood on herself and the surrounding area. Her calculated efforts were designed to tell a chilling story of survival, portraying herself as a victim of two masked male attackers who had savagely killed Jayna. The following morning, store manager Rachel arrived at the Lululemon store to prepare for opening. Alarm bells went off immediately when she found the door unlocked. Entering cautiously, Rachel was met with a scene of chaos, overturned displays, scattered receipts, and an eerie sense that something was horribly wrong. Panicked, she called 911. A bystander, Ryan, volunteered to help Rachel investigate further. Together, they ventured into the store's back rooms, where they made a harrowing discovery. Jayna's lifeless body lay in a pool of blood, evidence of a brutal and prolonged attack. In another room, they found Brittany alive but bound, seemingly the sole survivor of the ordeal. When police and paramedics arrived, Brittany claimed she and Jayna had been ambushed by two masked men, who ransacked the store, assaulted them, and killed Jayna. At first glance, the scene appeared to support her story. But as investigators meticulously examined the evidence, inconsistencies began to emerge, and Brittany's carefully constructed facade began to crumble. At first glance, Brittany Norwood's account of a horrifying attack by two masked intruders seemed plausible. The chaotic crime scene and her apparent injuries aligned with her narrative. Adding weight to her claims, security footage from the Apple store next door showed two men dressed in black passing near the Lululemon store around the time of the incident. However, this initial lead unraveled quickly when investigators identified the men as restaurant employees walking home from work, completely unrelated to the crime. From there, cracks in Brittany's story began to form. A deeper examination of the crime scene revealed a startling lack of evidence supporting the presence of external assailants. Every weapon used in the attack, the tools from a store-owned toolbox, a rock, a Buddha statue, and even a pair of size 14 men's sneakers, was confirmed as Lululemon property. The oversized sneakers, intended for customers trying on athletic wear, were used to create bloody footprints at the scene. However, forensic analysis showed that these footprints never exited the store, directly contradicting the idea that intruders had fled. The investigation's turning point came with DNA and forensic analysis. Brittany claimed she had never been in Jayna Murray's car, but DNA evidence in the vehicle told a different story. Police discovered a bloody hat in the car, and the bloodstains on its interior matched Brittany's forehead wound, placing her in the vehicle. Meanwhile, the zip ties used to bind Brittany's wrists contained teeth marks, strongly suggesting she had tied them herself. Even her claim of a sexual assault collapsed when results from her rape kit came back negative. Brittany's meticulous staging of the crime scene soon became evident. Investigators pieced together her attempts to craft a believable narrative, moving Jayna's car to a nearby parking lot, scattering receipts, and ransacking the store to mimic a robbery. She had inflicted superficial injuries on herself and strategically smeared Jayna's blood to heighten the illusion of a violent struggle. Beyond the physical evidence, Brittany's behavior cast significant doubt on her credibility. Former coworkers and managers reported long-standing suspicions of her involvement in thefts, painting a portrait of someone adept at deception and manipulation. Forensic psychologists analyzing her conduct after the incident noted a striking calmness and calculated demeanor that seemed at odds with the trauma she claimed to have experienced. Each piece of evidence chipped away at Brittany's account, ultimately pointing to an unsettling truth: there had been no masked attackers. The evidence, her actions, and her past revealed Brittany Norwood as the architect of a calculated cover-up to mask her role in Jayna Murray's tragic and brutal murder. Brittany Norwood's trial became a high-profile spectacle, gripping public attention with its chilling details of betrayal and brutality. The courtroom served as the stage for unraveling a story that was both horrifying and profoundly tragic. The prosecution delivered a compelling case, portraying Brittany as a cunning and manipulative individual who meticulously planned the murder of Jayna Murray to cover up her theft. They argued that Jayna's discovery of Brittany's actions had threatened her employment and future, leading Brittany to eliminate the one person standing in her way. A mountain of forensic evidence, from DNA to footprint analysis, combined with Brittany's history of deceit and her elaborate staging of the crime scene, painted a clear picture of premeditation and self-interest. Witness testimonies highlighted Brittany's pattern of dishonesty and her suspicious behavior following the crime, reinforcing the prosecution's narrative. The defense, however, took a different approach. Acknowledging Brittany's responsibility for Jayna's death, they argued that the murder was not premeditated, but rather a spontaneous act born of mental instability. They portrayed Brittany as emotionally fragile, overwhelmed by the prospect of being caught stealing and losing her job. The defense emphasized the intense pressure Brittany felt and claimed she had snapped in a moment of uncontrollable rage. The jury was unconvinced by the defense's arguments. After a brief deliberation, they found Brittany Norwood guilty of first-degree murder. The severity of the crime, the sheer number of injuries inflicted, the prolonged and deliberate nature of the attack, and the calculated efforts to stage the scene, all pointed to a cold and premeditated act. The verdict reflected the jury's acknowledgement of the overwhelming evidence presented against her. In January 2012, Brittany Norwood was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge's decision underscored the gravity of the crime and the enduring threat Brittany posed to society. For Jayna Murray's family, the verdict provided a measure of justice, though no sentence could truly erase the pain of their loss. The case left an indelible mark, serving as a grim reminder of the devastating consequences of greed, betrayal, and violence. The Murder of Jayna Murray by Brittany Norwood is a haunting case that delves into the complexities of human behavior, societal perceptions, and the pursuit of justice. It is a story that combines chilling premeditation, fractured trust, and the stark contrast between appearance and reality. At its core, this case raises a critical question: was Brittany's crime a calculated act, or a spontaneous outburst of rage? The evidence strongly suggested premeditation. Brittany orchestrated the situation by luring Jayna back to the store, under the guise of retrieving a forgotten Metro card. Once inside, she unleashed a brutal attack, inflicting over 300 wounds using multiple weapons found within the store. Her methodical staging of the scene to frame masked intruders, including leaving bloody footprints with size 14 men's sneakers, and fabricating her injuries, highlighted a calculated effort to evade responsibility. The attack's prolonged and excessive nature further underlined a disturbing level of intent. Brittany's past behaviors provided insight into the mindset behind her actions. Her history of theft, deceit, and manipulation painted a picture of someone who often prioritized self-interest above ethics. Whether it was stealing from teammates, scamming friends, or lying about her education, Brittany's actions consistently displayed a sense of entitlement and disregard for consequences. These patterns suggest underlying narcissistic tendencies, which may have driven her to eliminate anyone, like Jayna, who threatened to expose her flaws or disrupt her ambitions. The setting of the crime added another layer of shock. Lululemon, a high-end yoga apparel store, is synonymous with wellness, mindfulness, and serenity. The violent nature of the crime shattered this peaceful association, creating a jarring contrast that gripped public attention. The Bethesda community, known for its safety and affluence, was left reeling. The stark juxtaposition of a horrific murder in such a seemingly tranquil environment amplified the case's impact and media coverage. In response, Lululemon faced the dual challenge of supporting Jayna's grieving family and addressing public concerns about safety. The company honored Jayna's memory with a memorial, reinforcing their commitment to the values she embodied, while taking steps to address employee safety and restore trust within the community. This case continues to serve as a somber reminder of the hidden complexities of human behavior. It challenges perceptions of trust, explores the darker facets of ambition and self-preservation, and underscores the unpredictable nature of violence, even in the most unlikely of places. Ultimately, it is a story that forces reflection on the fragile line between outward appearances and inner turmoil. The legacy of Jayna Murray remains a powerful force within her community and far beyond. In the wake of her untimely and tragic death, countless efforts have been made to honor her memory and celebrate the vibrant, compassionate person she was. Today, a memorial mural graces the Lululemon store in Bethesda, Maryland, the site of the horrific crime. The mural, bearing the word "love" in radiant ceramic tiles, is more than a tribute. It is a testament to the joy and warmth Jayna shared with the world. Outside the store, community members regularly leave flowers, heartfelt notes, and small tokens like cans of Dr. Pepper, a subtle nod to one of Jayna's favorite drinks, as a poignant reminder of her enduring impact. This case stands as a sobering reminder that even in spaces designed to evoke peace and serenity, such as a high-end yoga apparel store, the unthinkable can happen. It forces us to confront the unsettling truth that violence can surface in the most unsuspecting of places. The case offers profound insights into the complexities of human behavior, particularly when driven by desperation, fear, or moral collapse. It also underscores the importance of vigilance and the critical role communities play in supporting one another through tragedy. Jayna's story is one of resilience, reflection, and remembrance. Though her life was cut short in an act of senseless violence, her spirit continues to inspire acts of kindness, unity, and love. Her legacy is a powerful reminder of the light she brought to those who knew her, and the enduring lessons learned from the pursuit of justice in her name. Thank you so much for listening all the way through. If you've made it to this point, drop a comment with the word "done," and we'll give you a personal shout-out to show our appreciation. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive in this murder and media frenzy. It was as fascinating for us to create as we hope it was for you to hear. If you found this episode thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We also invite you to join our YouTube channel, where you can get early access to our content, have your questions answered directly, and enjoy exclusive members-only content. We'd love to know what you think about this case. Was justice truly served? Share your opinions in the comments below. We're always eager to hear your thoughts. For those wanting to explore more on true crime, we've included Amazon affiliate links to some of the books we referenced in our researches. Purchasing through the link won't cost you anything extra, but it will support the channel and help us continue bringing you more content. If you're craving even more, consider joining our Patreon community. As a member, you'll get access to the full script of this episode, exclusive book summaries, and even the complete set of images featured in this case, available for purchase in our Patreon store. This has been 22 Crime. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay safe.